Walk into any room and pay close attention. Not to what people are saying, to what people are doing. Watch who gets interrupted and who gets heard out. Watch whose time gets respected and whose gets wasted. Watch who gets the joke made at their expense and who never gets touched. Same room, same people, completely different treatment. That gap, the distance between who gets respected and who gets used, has nothing to do with status, money, or how loud someone talks. It has everything to do with a specific set of signals people emit without knowing it. Signals that either tell the room I am someone you take seriously, or I am someone you can afford to dismiss. I know this because I was the person being dismissed for years. I was the one people talked over. The one whose appointments got canceled 20 minutes before they were supposed to happen. As if my schedule was a rough suggestion and not a commitment. The one who became the easy target for jokes in group settings and then smiled through it. Laughed along, pretended it landed somewhere other than where it actually landed. I kept telling myself I was being the bigger person. What I was actually doing was teaching people exactly how to treat me, and they were excellent students. Then I found it. Not a personality transplant, not a confidence seminar. One specific behavior, I was doing a single thing, and when I stopped doing it, the dynamic shifted. The same people who had made a habit of treating me like an afterthought started showing up differently. They stopped cutting me off. They stopped canceling. The jokes stopped. Not because I became aggressive or cold or difficult, because I stopped doing the one thing that had been signaling without words that this treatment was acceptable. After that, I found 3 more behaviors doing the same damage. For in total, each one quietly broadcasting weakness. Each one easily stopped. What I'm going to give you today isn't motivational decoration. No reminders to stand tall and make eye contact. These are the specific, concrete things that actually moved the needle in real conversations with real people in real time. I'll take them from the most immediately actionable to the most fundamentally transformative. But before we get into them, you need to understand something that most people miss entirely. Disrespect is not random. It is not a personality flaw in the people around you. It is a response, a calibrated, almost automatic response to the signals you're sending. You are not being disrespected because people are cruel. You are being disrespected because something in your behavior is telling them that this is permitted. The moment you stop sending that signal, the treatment changes. Sometimes within hours. Often within minutes. Here are the 4 signals to shut down immediately. 1. Stop reacting to disrespect. When someone disrespects you, interrupts you, mocks you, dismisses you, talks over you, what do most people do? They react. They get visibly upset. They defend themselves. They explain at length why what just happened was wrong and why they deserve to be treated better. They raise their voice or choke it down while their face says everything. Their mouth is trying not to, and in doing that, they hand the other person exactly what the other person was looking for. When you react strongly to being disrespected, you are demonstrating something critical, that this person has the ability to move you, that they have found a lever, that pulling, it produces a result. And people, consciously or not, keep pulling levers that produce results. Your reaction is not showing them they went too far. It is showing them that it works. Here's what to do instead. When someone disrespects you, you don't explode and you don't absorb it quietly. You stop, you look at them directly, and you say, calmly and without heat, that was disrespectful. Then you go completely silent. 3 words, no elaboration, no anger, no appeal, no explanation of why it was disrespectful or how it made you feel or what you expect instead. Just the observation stated plainly, and then silence, as if you've noted something factual and are waiting for reality to catch up with the observation. This works because it violates every expectation they have. When people disrespect someone, they've already run the mental simulation. Either this person explodes, which is entertaining and gives me something to push against, or this person lets it go. They've prepared for both outcomes. They have not prepared for someone who doesn't get angry, doesn't back down, doesn't escalate, doesn't laugh it off. Someone who simply names what happened with the emotional temperature of a person reading a weather report, and then lets the silence work. That silence is not passive. That silence is the most active thing in the room. Everyone in earshot feels it. Most importantly, the person who just disrespected you feels it. They don't know what to do with it. They begin to feel the weight of what they said without you having to perform any emotion at all. They start to fill the silence themselves, usually with an apology. I watched this happen in my own life with someone I'd known for years, a friend who had turned making fun of my work into a group sport. Every time we were all together, the roast would come. I always laughed along, kept the peace, played the easygoing one. Then one evening he went there again. Same joke, same smirk, waiting for the same response. I looked at him and said, "That's disrespectful." Didn't smile. Didn't follow it with anything. The table went quiet. He apologized within 15 seconds, genuinely, not performatively. He has not made that joke again. I didn't need to be mean. I didn't need to be loud. I just needed to stop giving him the reaction that kept the behavior alive. Try this today. The next time someone steps on you, interrupts you, dismisses you, makes you the punchline, don't play their game. Don't get emotional. Just name it once, precisely. That was disrespectful. Or, I'm not going to accept that. And then stop talking. Watch what happens in the next 10 seconds. You'll never handle it the old way again. 2. Stop being effortlessly available. This one changed things for me faster than almost anything else. And it's the one people most underestimate because it sounds almost too simple to matter. If you are reachable at all times, if messages get answered within 2 minutes regardless of when they're sent, if you pick up every call the first time it rings, if you say yes to requests before you've even finished hearing them, people stop valuing your time. Not because they're calculating about it, because you've shown them that your time has no competing demands, that it just sits there waiting for them to need something. Think about the last time you waited for a doctor. You sat in that waiting room possibly for 20 minutes past your scheduled time, and you did not question your respect for that doctor. You assumed their time was in demand. You assumed other things were competing for their attention. The wait itself told you something about their value before they ever walked in. Now think about someone in your life who answers every text immediately, at any hour, who rearranges their day when you call with a request, who has never once made you wait for anything. Do you treat that person's time as precious? Be honest, when you act as though your time is infinitely available, people receive it as infinitely available and they treat it accordingly. They make plans that assume you're free. They send requests at 11 at night, knowing you'll handle them before bed. They cancel on you without much thought because they've unconsciously registered that your calendar bends easily. The correction is not to become cold or play strategic games with your phone. It's to actually behave as if your time belongs to you, because it does. When a message comes in, respond when you're ready, not reflexively. If someone calls and you're in the middle of something, even something you could technically interrupt, call back when you're done. When someone asks for your time, your first response is not yes or no. It's let me check and come back to you. That pause, that moment of consulting your own schedule before committing to anyone else's, communicates something without you having to say it. That there are things competing for your attention, that your time is not just sitting there, that access to it requires acknowledgement. What I noticed when I started doing this was not that people got frustrated. They got more careful. They thanked me when I did respond. They checked whether I was available before assuming. They stopped sending 3 a.m. texts expecting answers, behavior that had been invisible to them. The casual assumption that I was always ready suddenly became visible. Because I had stopped reinforcing it. Your time is the only thing in your life that is genuinely non-renewable. You can make more money. You cannot make more time. The moment you start treating it like that, not as a performance, but as a conviction, the people around you begin treating it the same way. 3. Stop letting bad treatment pass without comment. Most people absorb small mistreatments in the moment and tell themselves they'll address it later, or that it's not worth the conflict, or that saying something will make things awkward. So they go quiet. They take it down, and then it happens again and again, because silence is not neutral. When you accept bad treatment without comment, the person on the other side receives a message, not that you're forgiving them, but that this is within the acceptable range of how to treat you. They didn't cross a line. You just confirmed that no line existed there. The next time, they know they can go at least as far as last time, usually a little further. The only way to interrupt this pattern is to respond immediately, not later. Not in a long conversation about your feelings. Not in a text you draft and delete right then. When it happens, calmly and without aggression, just clearly. A friend cancels on you an hour before you were supposed to meet, for the third time this month. The old response is, "It's fine, no worries." The response that actually changes things is, "This is the third time. I need you to know that matters to me." Not a lecture, not a threat. Just a statement that puts the reality of the situation in the room, where you can both see it. Someone at work keeps sliding their tasks toward you, framing it as a small favor when it's actually their job. You keep accepting because you don't want to seem unhelpful. But every time you accept, you've taught them that this is available. The moment you say, "That's yours, not mine, I won't be doing it," and then hold that position calmly when they push back, something shifts. Not immediately in their comfort level, but immediately in their understanding of what they can and cannot expect from you. I lived this with a colleague for months. The pattern was so established that it felt almost procedural. He'd ask, I'd do it, nothing changed, until the day I said no and explained quietly that this was his work and that I wouldn't be taking it on. He pushed. I didn't move. He stopped asking, and what followed this is the part nobody expects, was more respect from him than I had ever gotten before. He hadn't respected me less because he was a bad person. He had respected me less because I had never given him a reason to respect the boundary, because I had never drawn one. People don't respect you less for having limits. They respect you less when you pretend you don't have them. Draw the line. Name it without drama. Hold it without apology. You will be surprised how quickly people reorganize around a boundary once they understand it's actually there for. Stop trying to prove you deserve respect. This is the hardest one. It's also the most important. There is a behavior that people who feel disrespected almost universally fall into. They try to earn their way out of it. Someone questions their judgment, and they launch into a detailed defense of why their judgment is sound. Someone doubts their ability, and they begin recounting their track record, their credentials, their relevant experience, building a case, essentially, for their own value. They treat the question as a trial and themselves as the defendant, and they work very hard to win, and it never works. Not because the argument is weak, because the act of making the argument is itself the problem. When you defend your worth in response to someone questioning it, you are confirming the premise of the question, that your worth is something that is up for discussion, subject to review, contingent on evidence you can produce on demand. You have placed yourself in the position of someone who needs to persuade the room that they belong there. And people who clearly belong somewhere never do that. They don't have to. Watch how genuinely secure people handle doubt. Someone challenges their decision, and they don't build a case. They say, "I'm confident in it," and move on. Someone questions whether they're capable, and they don't list accomplishments. They say, "I know what I'm doing," and then they keep doing it. They don't provide more evidence. They provide less because their certainty doesn't require external confirmation to stay intact. The signal that self-defense sends, even when the defense is accurate, even when you're completely right, is that you're not certain unless others agree, that you require their belief to maintain your own. And once people sense that, they understand that doubt is a tool they can use on you, so they use it. For a long time, this was my most consistent mistake. Every time someone questioned something I'd done or said, I felt the pull to explain, to lay out the reasoning, to cover every angle, to make it airtight. The more I explained, the more there was to question. The more I justified, the more it looked like there was something to justify. I was working against myself methodically. Every time I opened my mouth to defend what I'd already decided, then I stopped. Someone challenged an idea I'd put forward in a meeting, one I was certain about. Instead of building the case, I just said, "I think this is the right direction." Full stop. No supporting evidence. No preemptive response to the objection. Just the statement, delivered with the energy of someone who'd already moved on to the next thing. They accepted it, not because the idea was different, because I was different. Because I had stopped asking for permission to be right. You do not owe anyone a defense of your decisions. You do not owe anyone proof that you are worth taking seriously. The moment you start paying that debt, it grows. The moment you stop, people recalibrate, because confidence, real or performed, is the most contagious thing in a room. If you carry yourself like someone whose value is established and not up for review, most people will simply accept that as the operating reality. If you carry yourself like someone in the middle of proving something, they'll wait to see how the proof lands before deciding. Stop proving. Start assuming. Assume that you already deserve the treatment you want. Let your behavior proceed from that assumption. The room will usually follow. Here's what all 4 of these have in common, and it matters. Not one of them requires you to acquire something new. No new skill, no new credential, no new personality. Every single one is about removal, about identifying a behavior that is actively costing you and stopping it. You are not building a new version of yourself. You are excavating the version that was already there. Underneath the habits that were making it invisible, stop reacting to disrespect with emotion. Stop giving away your time as if it costs nothing. Stop absorbing mistreatment in silence. Stop defending yourself against questions that have no right to require an answer. Take those 4 things away, and what remains is a person who the room naturally reads as someone worth respecting. You didn't lose that person. You buried them in weak habits. Here's what to do right now, not next week. Not when the timing is better. Today, pick one. Just one of these 4, whichever one you recognized most painfully in your own life as you read it. The one where you thought, yes, that's me. That's exactly what I keep doing. Go find that specific situation and handle it differently this one time. Don't reinvent yourself. Just make one different choice in one real moment, then pay attention to what happens on the other side of that choice. Watch the other person's face. Notice the shift in the air. Feel what it's like to hold a position you used to abandon. That feeling, that specific feeling, is what you've been leaving on the table every time. You fell back into the old habit. Do it once today. Again tomorrow, the week after, you won't have to think about it. The month after, people around you will have adjusted to a version of you they didn't previously know existed. One they approach differently. One they speak to differently. One they cancel on a lot less. I went from being someone people reflexively underestimated to someone those same people treat with genuine consideration. Not by becoming harder or colder or more aggressive, by removing, one by one, the behaviors that had been quietly signaling that disrespect was acceptable. You are not waiting for permission. You never needed it. You were just acting like you did. Stop acting like you did.